planty friends, welcome back to my channel, Planty Princess 92. My name's Ashley for those who don't know, and today we are going to be doing another unboxing video. So in this box I have a honeysuckle, not a tree, but a honeysuckle vine. So I'm super excited to see it. This vine is actually for my mother's house outside. We are going to be then potting it up into a little, not a little, but a big pot with a trellis that it can climb up onto. So I believe we ordered this from Etsy and it's packed really nice. It has a bunch of newspaper, or really it looks like magazine papers all crumbled up. And then it was shipped in a pot, not bare root, so that's always nice because it reduces the stress of the plant. And what was nice is that they used this box to kind of keep it so the foliage doesn't bend or get crushed during shipping. So honeysuckle vines, I mean, really you could grow any plant indoors, but these are really good outdoor plants. I live in an area, I think my zone is 6B or somewhere around there. So we have oh my God, my mom tricked me. I lied. It is a Aglaonema Pictum Tricolor. Oh my God, this is gonna make for such a good video. Look at this. Oh my God. I just can't even believe it. My aunt's gonna be so jealous. Oh my God, these are so pretty and super hard to find. I don't know where she got this. Oh my God! Thank you, Mom! Okay, so although I would love to sit here and talk about this plant all day, I wasn't prepared to talk about this beautiful little girl here. So I am going to unbox the real honeysuckle. All right, so I already opened it up and it came in a pretty big box. This one was also shipped in a pot. So I'm just gonna stand it up and kind of just pull it out of the pot here. So it looks like it was wrapped pretty well. Ooh, here's a little sneak peek. These are really cool. And what's nice about honeysuckles is they're really fragrant. So now we're gonna put the one that we are potting up onto a trellis outside of the front door. So that makes it nice because it's fragrant. So people that are coming over into your house, as they walk past it into the house, they're gonna get that nice smell coming from the honeysuckle vine. So this particular variety is the Gold Flame. So it has like golden yellow, orangish kind of blooms, and they're really gorgeous. I think they have a little pink in them as well. I'll insert a picture so you guys can see the blooms because this one doesn't currently have any blooms on it. Oh, actually on the tag here, perfect. Here's a picture of what the blooms look like. And I'll still insert another picture because some of them do get that gold, that really golden yellow that I'm talking about, and I want you guys to see what that looks like because it really just is so beautiful. So I'm gonna insert a picture of that so you can see what it looks like, and then I'm just gonna kind of get this out of here so I can show you the whole plant. This seller has it staked up already, which is really nice because it kept the plant sturdy during shipping. That prevented the majority of the stress that it could have possibly went through. It also prevented it from getting smushed down from either side of the box. And It actually looks like there are blooms starting to form. Tons of them. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I see 6 blooms getting ready to start, and I'll show you right here what that looks like. So if you can see right here, this is what the start of the blooms look like. So I guess kind of similar to like, you know, like a Hoya peduncle. They kind of have, you know, a couple little, I don't know what they're called, but like, you know, a couple little blooms coming out of one little spike, which is the peduncle, and they flower out. So to me, it looks similar to as if like, you know, a Hoya would. Now each one of the little buds will be, I believe, an individual flower. These are pretty easy care plants. Now for outdoor purposes, you know, the majority of the watering it will get rainwater, but on days that it doesn't rain, maybe once a week at least, if it's a week that it's not raining, we will make sure we water it. That way it doesn't go too long without any water. Also, these plants are, I believe, medium shade to full sun exposure. Let's check here. Yep, it can handle full sun, so that's not a problem, and it can tolerate partial shade. And when I say tolerate, if you don't already know, a lot of plants can tolerate lower sun or partial shade, but the plants that don't thrive in that type of sun will benefit more from higher light situations, although they can tolerate and handle the lower light situations. The bloom time is late spring, so I think we got this in perfect timing because we can transplant it into our pot and not disturb the blooms at all. So that'll be nice because we'll get to see them this year. This plant is a perennial, so we'll come back year after year. I believe actually it's an evergreen, so although the blooms will die off, the foliage will continue to grow year round, which is nice. So I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna head out front to the pot, and we'll get this potted up and stake it up the trellis. Okay, so here we are out front and ready to pot this up into the pot. So there's actually 2 we are going to be staking up onto this trellis. This littler one here, give you a close-up so you can kind of see the foliage on this one here. This one is a purple leaf Japanese honeysuckle vine. So I'll just show you the 2 together so you can kind of see the difference. And I think they will complement each other, especially with the different blooms. And I'll also insert a picture of the blooms for this one as well. These blooms are a little purplish pink. And like I said before, the blooms on the gold flame is the golden yellow pinkish blooms. So I'm gonna pot up the bigger one first because it's bigger than the littler one, and I don't want to put the littler one behind it or hide it. So first I'm just gonna take the stakes out of here. I'll put this where you can see it. So what they also did was they rubber banded the stakes together, which was nice because it made it so they wouldn't like come apart and topple over. And these bamboo stakes, you guys, are actually really good for staking some other types of plants. Now, if I were going to grow this inside or, you know, not on an additional trellis, once it got big enough, I'd probably use something like these bamboo stakes to trellis this up, as well as, you know, other plants that like to climb. You can find these on Amazon or maybe at your local Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever you have like that in your area. So we're first gonna dig our hole to fit this into. So now I'm gonna put one on this side and I'm gonna put one on this side. That way when they vine up, they eventually intertwine with each other, but you still have a good view of each plant as an individual to see their blooms and their characteristics, as well as see them combined together. I think that's gonna look really nice. I got these trellises, or my mom got these trellises, I think off of Amazon. But either way, you can find trellises off of Amazon, online, at other places. I mean, you could get trellises anywhere. So now we will carefully pot this. The root ball is kind of loosening up itself, as you can see, but I'm just gonna make sure the middle loosens up. Now I'll show you guys the root system. It has a really, really significant and healthy root system, which is really nice. There's an abundance of roots here, and I don't actually see one damaged or rotted root, which is nice. As well as there was only two, I see 2 yellowing, maybe 3 yellowing leaves, which is not bad at all. So now I'm going to just put the potting soil around the rest of the plant to top it off. And now when you pot plants indoors, you always want to leave a space from the top of the pot. That way when you water, it's not toppling over and falling all onto the floor. So now that I have this nicely packed down in here, I want to make sure there's no air bubbles. So I'm just gently pressing down to make sure that the pot's too big for me to kind of like shake or tap on the side to get the air bubbles out. So I'm going to compress it to make sure there's no air bubbles. So now I'm just going to take, on the way we have little clips to attach the vines to the trellis, but until then I need to give it some support so that way it stays growing upward and not falling over. So I'm just going to use regular zip ties until they come. I'll leave enough space that way I can safely cut them off once the clips that we want to use come without cutting any of the vines. So this is, it's a nice size plant, but it's generally kind of small for how tall these get. So I'm not going to be putting too many on, just enough to keep it growing upward for now. Now I'm cutting off rubber bands. They rubber banded the vines together. So I don't believe these aren't aeroids. I don't think they attach themselves with aerial roots like aeroids do. I think they just vine around things in their native environments to trellis up them. So that's what's going to give them the ability to grow up, giving them something to be able to do that. So now the first one's done, and when I get all finished, I'll bring you in for a close-up to kind of see how it looks. It looks really nice, it looks really cute, and it's going to climb quite nicely when it starts to grow a little bit bigger. So I'm going to pot up the second one here. It's a little bit smaller, but like I said, I'm going to, even though it's smaller, I'm going to put it on the side right next to it. That way you can, at the bottom of the trellis, see the plants individually and then see them kind of intertwine with each other as they climb up, which I think would look really, really neat. So you can see on this one how the root system is intensively growing out of the pot. So I'm gonna have to kind of be careful to make sure I don't break any of these really big roots off when I'm taking this out. And now when this happens, normally this is an outdoor plant, so I understand why they didn't take the time to repot it, because it was sold as an outdoor plant to go outdoors. But when plants get to this point, that's typically when you want to, before they get to this point, that's typically when you want to start to repot them. So I will first make a hole. Here it is. I lost my shovel. So I'll first make the hole, that way it's ready to go. Now this one's a little more shallow, so I don't need to dig too deep. And then I'll carefully try to get this out of here. This is going to be kind of hard. I may have to try to cut through the pot in order to save the roots. And now when you're doing this, you have to be careful because you obviously can't see what you're cutting on the inside. So I'm just going to carefully cut right up the side of the pot as close, and keep the scissors as close to the pot as I can. So now that worked really, really well. And the rest, it was really just that one that was having a hard time coming out. The rest just kind of came out really nice. And you see, this is all that I lost, just that one little root. And it looked a little dried up anyways, so I probably would have got rid of it anyways. So again, this has a significant root system. You see how it's all wrapped around, so I am going to break this apart. That way, as the roots continue to grow, instead of growing around, they'll expand out, and that will promote more growth for the foliage as well. Now this one is too small to zip tie, or stake, I should say, at the moment. So I'm just gonna leave it go, standing like that. Once they start to grow bigger, that's when I will take the clips and then start to clip it so we can start to grow upwards. So I'll bring you in to give you a better view. So that's the little one. That's the purple leaf Japanese honeysuckle vine. And then this is the golden flame. So you can see how nice they look together, and when they start to intertwine, they'll look really nice. Thank you guys again for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the surprise unboxing. I was just as surprised as you will be. I'm very happy and excited to grow this plant, to try to propagate it and figure out its care needs. If you are interested in the content I provide, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys in the next one. Every plant's a princess.